Doctor saw my wife's ultrasound and begged me to divorce. My wife and I had been trying for a baby for 3 years. Every negative test broke her heart a little more. So when she finally showed me those 2 pink lines, I cried. I actually cried. I called my mom. I called her mom. I told everyone at work I was going to be a dad. The ultrasound appointment was at 10 weeks. I took the whole day off. I held her hand in the waiting room and kept telling her how beautiful she looked. The tech called us back and my wife laid down on the table. She squeezed my hand when the cold gel touched her stomach. The tech moved the wand around and then got real quiet. She said she needed to get the doctor. My wife started crying. I told her everything was fine. The baby was fine. Don't worry. The doctor came in a few minutes later. He was an older guy with gray hair. He looked at the screen for a long time. Then he asked my wife to wait outside for a moment. She looked confused, but she went. The doctor closed the door. He sat down across from me and took off his glasses. He said, "Son, I've been doing this for 30 years. He said, "There's no easy way to tell you this." He said, "Based on the development, this pregnancy is about 14 weeks along." I said, "Okay." He said, "You told the nurse you've been traveling for work." I said, "Yeah. I was in Texas for 2 months." He said, "You came back 5 weeks ago." I just stared at him. He put his hand on my shoulder and said, "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry." He said if I were you, I would talk to a lawyer before I talked to her. I thanked him. I walked out to the lobby. My wife was sitting there smiling, asking if everything was okay with our baby. I said, "Yeah." I said, "I just need to run to the car real quick." I walked out to the parking lot. I got in my truck. I drove away. I didn't go home. I drove to my buddy Kyle's place and told him everything. He said I could stay as long as I needed. My phone started buzzing around dinner time. It was her, then her mom, then her sister. I turned it off. The next morning I went to a lawyer. I told him about the house. It was mine before we got married. I told him about the cars, both in my name. I told him about the joint account. I moved my direct deposit that same day. He told me in our state I could file and have her served within the week. I said do it. 3 days later I finally turned my phone back on. I had over 200 texts. Most of them were angry. She said I was being crazy. She said the doctor was wrong. She said she would never cheat on me. Then the texts changed. She said, "Okay, it happened once." She said it was a mistake. She said it didn't mean anything. Then they changed again. She said I owed her a conversation. She said I couldn't just abandon her. She said she was carrying a baby and I was heartless. Her mom called me 15 times. Her sister left me voicemails calling me every name in the book. My own mom called and said she heard I left and she was proud of me. That meant everything. A week later, my wife got served at her mom's house. I know because her mom called me screaming. She said I was ruining her daughter's life. She said I was a coward. She said her daughter made one little mistake and I was throwing away our whole marriage. I hung up. My wife tried a different approach after that. She showed up at Kyle's apartment crying. She said she was sorry. She said she would do anything. She said we could go to counseling. She said she would spend the rest of her life making it up to me. I asked her who he was. She said it didn't matter. I said it matters to me. She said it was my friend Danny. Danny who was at our wedding. Danny who came to our house for football Sundays. Danny who I helped move into his apartment last year. I closed the door. The divorce went through fast because she didn't fight it. She couldn't. She got nothing because she brought nothing. The house was mine. The truck was mine. She had to move back in with her mom. I heard through friends that Danny wanted nothing to do with her or the baby. She tried calling me a few more times after everything was final. She said she was scared. She said she had nobody. She said she still loved me. I never answered. I moved across the state 6 months later for a new job. Better pay. Nice apartment. I started going to the gym again. I started feeling like myself again. Last month, my buddy Kyle sent me a screenshot. She posted online asking for help with baby supplies. The comments were turned off. I looked at that screenshot for about 10 seconds. Then I deleted it and went back to making dinner. My mom calls me every Sunday now. She always says the same thing at the end. She says I'm proud of the man you've become. She says your father would be proud too. That's all I needed to hear.